So, we're in Paris this time, and we're doing 5-wire only, we're doing Silent Assassin suit only, and it's on master difficulty. So, all the big ones. If you haven't already seen it, yesterday I released the ICA facility video 5-wire only. Nothing spectacular obviously about that, but first one in the series, so if you want to catch up on that, but by all means. And if you want to skip ahead and see the other routes but without commentary, I'll leave another card up in the top right corner. So, Paris. Well, this was quite interesting to work out. Not necessarily for difficulty, but in a case of what do you do to make it look different? Because people have seen Paris that many times now, how do you do fibre wire and make it look good? So, I'll be honest, I've used this a little bit in each of them, but I've used the Karma because I think it's a very unique way of knocking NPCs out now. It's not necessarily that I try to use the overpowered nature, you know, with the glitch, but I feel like I've used it just to take advantage of shortcuts or taking less time over NPCs. So hopefully you'll see that in action, but yeah, I think it played a good part in this one. So, first thing I'm going to do of note is that I'm going to get rid of this chef. He's a bit of a pain, so we're going to shoot the ceiling, it makes him walk upstairs. Afterwards we're going to shoot the surveillance. It's unlikely I would have triggered the cameras, but this way we don't have to worry about them. Now we're going to go through the door, and we're just going to knock this guy out, just so he doesn't bother us later on. So, get the briefcase, throw it at his head, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hide the body. This might seem like overkill, but the reason, simply put, is we're going to use the stairwell, so if we have bodies here, it's going to cause trouble. So hide the body. So after this, the main idea we're going to do is get Kurt's phone. If you aren't aware, Kurt is Victor's bodyguard, and he's always by his side, so this is where the Karma comes in. If you haven't tried this for yourself, there's been an alteration since Hitman 2016, where the opportunity or the way I'm going to lure Kurt around is quite similar to 2016, but his route is slightly different. So just before I go on to that, knock this guy out as well, just for the fact that he's going to be a pain. He will come into the area, make sure you pick up the briefcase as well, otherwise someone will pass by and pick it up for you. So yeah, we're just going to drag his body, put it in the wardrobe as well. Anyway, just getting back on to Kurt and Victor. In Hitman 2016, the idea was that you would turn on the display with the coin, you would just wait for them to come to inspect it. Then the idea was that Victor would go through the doorway on the left and Kurt would follow him. There's been an alteration this time though, where they both walk backwards and go to the left that way. So it just means you have to lure Kurt again, but the trouble is, because you have to lure him, he's also going to... it might draw attention from NPCs we don't want to draw attention from. So we're going to use the Karma just as a way of simplifying things a little bit. So as you can see, I've just got one coin now. I'm pulling out the Karma for when Kurt turns up. And as soon as Victor and Kurt are in position, I'm just going to put the coin in the diorama. So if I'm right, there we go, Victor's just moved to the right, so we're going to put the coin in. We're going to take cover just so that is, you know, obviously not seen. As soon as Victor looks like he's going to walk off, we're going to throw the briefcase and we're going to throw it near the crate. Now, in my opinion, the reason why this works is because of the briefcase. If you throw a coin, another NPC might turn up. Whereas because it's the briefcase, it's sort of like I wouldn't say a valuable item, but it's just below guns as far as the interest NPCs. So I believe that's what gets Kurt over there. It's like, oh, a briefcase. So as you can see, throw it. Kurt will stop, he'll go to pick up the briefcase. When he does, trank him. Now, again, it could be that you don't need the trank gun. I believe you do. I think it's a handy way of doing it, because as you can see, someone does walk this way, so just supposing you run across, you would be well, not likely, but possible to get caught. So for me, the trank gun just saves any of those problems. Anyway, pick up all the goodies, and what we're going to do is we're going to just go through the doorway. Now, at this point, I had two thoughts in mind. Do I A, take them both out in the same room, or B, do I take them out separately? For speed, I should have taken them out in the same room, because as you'll see in later videos, I do tend to manipulate the rules a bit to my advantage when it comes to the new system regarding crimes noticed. So I could have done it that way, but I thought, no, I'm going to take Victor out here. He's passing by, he's right here, what's the point in waiting? And more so, I thought I can even hide his body here. You don't need to. If you want to, you can just leave him there, no one will walk downstairs. But if you're like me and you do appreciate hidden bodies, that's one hidden for you. Anyway, what we're doing, we're going up the stairs, and we're just going to settle the Dahlia kill now. You don't have to pick the briefcase up either. Again, that's just me being a little bit anal, so yeah, that's your call. As soon as you're close to the safe room, call the phone. I left it a little bit late just for the fact that I didn't know what the guard pattern would be up here, so I just thought, okay, let's just get it up there. As you can see, it didn't work out well because I don't know if this is just Hitman 2 or if Hitman 2016 did have the same problem, but if 47's on the phone, he will not do anything else other than finish that phone call. So I've got to try and remember that in future run-throughs, because I just dislike the idea that I get trapped waiting to go through a door. So yeah, not great. Anyway, at this point, the briefcase comes in handy once again. We're going to throw it. The tech guy will see it, he will take it away, and we will not see him again. So that is fantastic. Right, now I can avoid tripping up over my own tongue again. The idea is we go straight into the safe room and we're going vault. Now, I got a little bit confused here. I didn't know if I should vault over this one or the other one. And after literally a second or two sort of in position, I thought, no, let's go to that one. So, if you want to do it the correct way, it was the other one. As you'll see in a moment, Dahlia comes in and she's looking straight at 47, so it wasn't great. Now, I was fortunate that Dahlia is not an enforcer. I can only assume it works out that she sees Tobias Reaper, who in her sort of mind is not an enforcer on Earth law, therefore she doesn't think of it being wrong that he's here for some reason. So I'm sort of glad that I took out Novikov, because if he'd been in here it would have been a lot more complicated, because even though he wouldn't have been looking at me, it still would have been a bit awkward having to get him to not go for a coin or a briefcase or whatever I threw. So I'm just glad it did work out this way. So the idea is we're going to wait for the guards to leave the room. It should only take a second at this point, because with it only being Dahlia, she doesn't take forever. As you can see, guards are gone. We're going to just go through. I was checking to make sure she wasn't an enforcer at this point, because I thought, really? Anyway, as soon as you're in the room, just sneak up behind her and give her the old fibre Rooney. So just hide the body as best you can. There's no real place to actually hide it, so just do what you can. Pick up the coins, and at this point we're just going to make our way through this room. So as you can see, there's someone leaving the room. We're just going to walk slowly, or we're going to crouch walk. As soon as we're past the guard, we're going to crouch run. And yeah, like I say, that guy isn't there because he's still dealing with the briefcase, so we're just going to retrace the steps and make our way all the way back to the kitchen. So if I was to sort of mark myself with this route, I don't think I'd give it high marks because it was a bit slow for a fibre wire route in Paris. I do believe I could have shaved a couple of minutes off if I'd have thought to myself, let's try and get Novikov in the same room. But on the other hand, I do still think it was an interesting use of the trank gun. I don't like overusing it, even though I will admit I do use it a lot in my fibre wire routes. But I don't like using it just for the sake of using it. So I feel like that one shot was worth it, just because if someone does see Kurt, you've still got a chance of getting the phone. Whereas if the body's found, it's game over. So that's my reasoning, and I'm sticking to it on this one. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm going to just fire a gunshot now just to frighten the chefs, and that's me done. So I'll be in Sapienza next video, and I hope to see you there. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in Sapienza. Bye for now, everyone.